Just a quick word before we start. Some of y'all who've been watching for a while might have noticed that my videos have been kind of boring lately, talking about the perils of being an owner-operator way too much. I promise this is the last one, okay? I just want to let you know, starting with the next one, we'll get back to the more informative, hopefully entertaining, sometimes educational stuff, okay? So let's get started with the video. I got some crawfish to go eat. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to talk about when is it time to get out as an owner-operator, which is what I'm doing. Oh, have I got your attention now? But we're going to talk about maybe the pros and cons of sticking it out. So that's all coming up on today's episode of Pressing My Luck. Let's get started. Let's get the big story out of the way first. I decided to go back to being a company driver. I'm going to sell my truck and just become a company driver, no more owner-operator. Why? If you look at, let's say the rates come up and I'm making a little more money, it's probably going to be about the same as I can make as a company driver. Because I stay out like 4 weeks at a time. I just work and work and work. What are the pros and cons of sticking it out as an owner-operator? Well, you could say, if you stick it out as an owner-operator and the market picks up again, you can really make a killing like you were this past summer. You're right. But my answer to that is, what happens when the rates go back down like they are now? Don't tell me how much I can make when things are great. What's the average? The middle is not much better than a company driver, and things would have to be good for a sustained period for it to really be worth your while. Remember, as an owner-operator, you've got a lot of responsibility that a company driver doesn't have. You've got all these expenses, headaches, and stress that a company driver doesn't have. It should be worth something financially. You should be getting compensated for that responsibility. Right now, I'm not. None of us are, unless you just got a great thing going. But all the owner-operators I talk to are barely getting by. Some of them are losing money right now. Actually losing money. Because that's just what the freight market is. So I've been racking my brain trying to figure out what are the advantages to staying. The actual advantages of staying as an owner-operator if I can make as much money as a company driver, or even close. Some people will say, Jay, you got the freedom. You're an owner-operator. You can take off whenever you want. I don't take off. I don't want to be off. I want to work. Who are these people that are taking off? I work every day. I don't want to take off. You can turn down loads. Who are these people turning down loads? I don't turn down loads. So that whole freedom thing just doesn't apply to me. The next thing that would be an advantage is there is a certain amount, and it's very hard for me to describe or put in words, a certain amount of pride that comes along with being an owner-operator, because you do have that extra responsibility that company drivers don't have. Yes, I do feel a certain amount of pride that I am an owner-operator right now, and I've done it. I've gone through, in the first 6 months of owning a truck, some of the worst financial hardships that you can go through, and I survived it. Like, I feel like I did it. There is a certain amount of pride. Like, I did it, and I'm doing it now. But is it profitable? Is it profitable enough to balance off the responsibility and stress? Obviously, right now it's not, because I'm more or less treading water. So as far as making that decision, for me, it all came down to, is the money I'm making as an owner-operator worth it when you compare the stress and responsibility as an owner-operator to the money and lack of stress as a company driver? And right now, it's no comparison. I think I've said everything I need to say about the subject. I've kind of weighed out the pros and cons. Maybe not very succinctly, But that was sort of my roundabout way of dealing with it. For those of you who are not sticking around for story time, I appreciate you watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, maybe got something out of it, and I hope you check out the next video. For those of you who are sticking around for story time, let's do story time. I was hauling lime, like crushed up lime. And so it was in chunks, but there was also this fine lime powder. When you would go load, you would open the door of the truck and white powder would come in. White powder would be everywhere in the truck, on the dash. I mean, a fine powder. And I'm a neat freak. I would dust the truck a minimum of 5 times a day, sometimes up to 8 or 9 times a day, dusting the truck. Well, it gets worse. The AC filter, remember, you're in the middle of the desert, so you have to have the air conditioner. It can only filter out so much of this powder. So I could look at the AC vent and see like this white powder just coming out. Then of course you're breathing in and everything. It gets worse. That powder would build up, I guess, build up somewhere on the other side of the filter until finally it would just break loose every now and then. And this big, like, poof, a cloud of white lime powder. When I say a cloud, it filled up the truck to where you couldn't see out the windows. That's how dense this cloud was. Would fill up the whole cab. You'd have to roll down the window. I'd have to drive with my head out the window just to be able to survive. If there was a shoulder, because we'd be on a 2-lane highway with no shoulder most of the time. We'll get to the route next. Sometimes there wasn't a place to pull over, so I would just have to drive with my head out the window until the cloud settled down. There's more. Whenever you're dealing with a powder that fine, you can't just splash water on your face and get rid of it. It's like flour, it'll get gummy. It has to be scrubbed off with plenty of soap and water. And where would it get? It would get in the corners of your eyes. It would get in your nose, up your nose. It would get all on your lips, in the corners of your mouth, in your ears, behind your ears, in your hair. And you could just feel it. Of course, I got greasy hair, so that powder would stick to my greasy hair real good. If you did this, a cloud of white powder would come off. Now I had, in that truck, I had one of these, like a little air thing. So I would blow myself down as good as, blow. I'd blow my boots, the bottom of my boots, and it's still, you cannot get rid of it. You just cannot get rid of it. And then there were no truck stops along the route that we would take. We would go from Vegas to Glamis, California. Now Glamis is known for its sand dunes, and people go ride on the sand dunes and they go camping there. Otherwise it's just desert, and it's the pits. And along that route, it's a 2-way highway. I think it's Highway 95, and then you get on another one. I'll put it on the screen. There's 2 convenience stores that have truck parking. They're not truck stops. They're Hey, remember my last video? I was talking about Indian truck stops? That's the clean one. The one by Anahuac. So like I was saying, there weren't any truck stops. There was a convenience store with a dirt lot across the street. There was convenience store food, which is hot dogs. No hot food. The bathroom was just a single stall and a single face bowl. It was just a 1-person bathroom. And I think that was in Brawley, California. I'll try to put a picture of it. And then the next one down, I think, was in a town called Palo Verde. Spanish-speaking viewers, help me out. I think Palo Verde means green stick. I like that because in Louisiana, where I'm from, it's more French, and we have Baton Rouge, or Baton Rouge, which means red stick. So I've been to red stick and green stick. But correct me if that's not what that means in Spanish. And again, I think there was a Chevron with a dirt lot, but it's not a truck stop. So you had to bring food with you in an ice chest. Didn't have a refrigerator in the truck or any power inverter. It was a small sleeper. Oh man, it was just miserable. And I would deliver to this mine. Oh, no cell phone service either. Once you got like past Palo Verde, no cell phone service. Like all the way to the delivery. and sometimes you'd run out of hours there and spend the night at the mine. And no cell phone. You couldn't watch YouTube videos, nothing. Okay, that's story time for today. I hope you enjoyed hearing about me hauling lime, my brief time hauling lime. And I hope to catch you on the next video. And until the next one, this is Jason signing out. Well, this is it. My last moments with my truck. I'm not going to start crying. Don't worry. This won't be some tearful goodbye. All I have to say in this moment is I'm glad I did it. It was an adventure. Believe it or not, I didn't become an owner-operator to get rich or even to make a lot of money. It wasn't about money at all. It was just to see if I could do it. It was a challenge to myself, and I feel like I've succeeded. Like I said, I'm in a good spot. So I'm not leaving destitute and broke. So I feel like I did it. I have nothing left to prove to myself. I'm going to bid this truck adieu. Look at this, y'all. It's all cleaned out. And so with that, next time you see me, I guess I'll be in a different truck and I'll be starting my new adventure.